What's up, YouTube? It's the Tough Cut Pod -1. That's right, Matt's dead.
Hell yeah.
And God is dead, and we killed him. No, Matt is on vacation. He left us to do this.
He left he left us loose. No rules.
It's gonna be a rowdy one, guys. But
but if you get surprised that you hear him in the second half of this episode, that's just movie magic, baby.
Yeah, we recorded the actual finale matchup previously earlier in the week, so he could be a part of that. But Jake and I are covering honorable mentions. That's right, this is our finale, episode 70 of our 90s Romcom bracket, and what a journey it's been.
It's been a journey. I fell in love at least twice.
My heart was broken.
At least twice.
And actually twice. It was broken twice.
Oh no.
But yeah, thanks for listening. If you I have immediately forgotten everything that Matt says. I don't know. If you like our podcast, make sure to rate and review. Follow us on social media at Tough Cut Bod. Yeah. Did I say bod? At Tough Cut Bod. Don't follow that. I think that is a different podcast. That is a different thing.
That feels like the people who invented Facebook. You know what I mean?
That's a workout. That's like a workout group. Tough Cut Bod, for sure. A workout. Instagram. Tough Cut Pod, Twitter, Instagram. We have a letterbox that we don't update very often, but hey, maybe we've updated it at some point. Yeah, rate and review if you like it. I don't know, share it with someone. Matt says that usually.
I kind of love that. Even with Matt gone, I still have avoided doing any of this and just let the other person just ramble on and look lost. And it's fun because we can see each other. We're on video. I'm looking directly at his eyes and he's looking at me like, please God help, as he's talking. And I'm just sitting here smiling.
Jake, you do have one job and you can and should do that.
Yeah, well, my one job is spoiler warning, guys. We're going to be spoiling these movies, probably some of the honorable mentions. And yeah, these honorable mentions, I think I know why Matt I don't think he's on vacation, is my fan theory.
Oh, you think he's dipping?
I think he dipped out on honorable mentions because he saw the audiences and he's like, these guys are dumb. These guys are big dummies.
Wow, you think Matt was so embarrassed by our audience that he chose to skip out on our finale recording?
He faked not even faked, he last minute planned a vacation where he had to spend actual money because he's like, I need to get out of here. Wow. He did. And, that's just like a testament to you guys who, look, I get it. We put our matchup posts up a little late. And if you're one of our viewers who just watches our social media posts and doesn't listen, we still love you. That's so great. That's still true. Some kind of engagement, right?
We do love you. But that also means that you're not listening to this episode. So we won't be shaming you to your face.
Right. Yeah. For those who are listening and submitted the exact same movies that we have already talked about, man, oh man, you guys...
What a powerful energy. Honestly, pretty powerful for an audience member to listen to the podcast and then be like, they should talk more about that movie. That's pretty fun. That's a good energy. I get it if hey, this was a movie we talked about in the first round. We didn't talk about very much. It didn't move on. And you're like, hey, that's a good movie.
I doubt that that's what they meant.
No. But they just forgot about it because we didn't talk about it very much. But okay, we'll just get into it. Someone sent in The Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
Which is a movie that moved to the second round. We talked about it a lot. But hey, you know what? Thanks for being engaged. We appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, it was that, I'm fine with doxing him. My brother literally my brother did an honorable mention and he put There's Something About Mary. And that's just rude. Based on what our feelings are about that movie.
I wonder if he did that on purpose. I bet he listened to it and thought it'd be funny to say.
No, I have a sneaking suspicion. He thinks he remembers that he likes it. I have like we did, Mm-hmm. But if you watched it now, he'd be like, oh, there really was something about Mary, and I think that's real. I think that's very real.
The other one that we got was 10 Things I Hate About You, which, Fair. It's pretty good. If I didn't listen to the podcast and saw there was a 90s rom-com bracket, I'd be like, yeah, 100%, 10 things I hate about you.
Yeah, come on. This is 10 things. Maybe they were just, maybe it wasn't even honorable mention. Maybe they saw a comment and they were trying to review us and they ran out of space and that was the first line, you know?
Could be. So, Jake, I thought it'd be a fun game because I guess we didn't give our own honorable mentions, but in terms of audience honorable mentions, we all know, usually these honorable mentions go one way, and it's that Matt and Jake go back and forth being like, oh yeah, this is a good movie. Oh yeah, this is a good movie. And I stay pretty quiet because I haven't seen most of them. So I thought a fun game would be, Jake, you go through the list of audience honorable mentions and you give me some summaries. And maybe actually you give me a summary of a movie and I have to guess which honorable mention it was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And warning, actually, so I was looking through them. You're gonna think based on some titles that some of these summaries are that title, but they're not.
Okay.
So get ready. You have the list in front of you?
I have the list in front of me, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, this 1995 film directed by John Turteltaub.
Wait, I know Turteltaub. I know that
name.
That's
from BoJack Horseman.
Oh,
he was a producer.
That is how I know the name. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. But this one, starring Sandra Bullock, is about a transit worker, Lucy, and she pulls her longtime crush, Peter, from the path of a train. And at the hospital, doctors report he's in a coma. And while in this coma, they think that basically the family comes because she saved him or whatever, and they think that she is his fiance because she accidentally said some stupid shit. So she's staying in this hospital. They've never even started dating. They're just crushes. So what do you think? That's the premise. That's literally dude's in a coma, save train.
So I have an unfair advantage on this one. This is a movie that I researched because my mom was like, hey, this one's pretty good. So I actually know that this is while you were sleeping.
Ooh, correct answer was 27 Dresses with Katherine Heigl. Ooh. No, yeah, that's exactly right.
You know, but your summary made me kind of think it sounds similar to The Big Sick.
It's kind of, which is weird because The Big Sick's literally based on a true story.
Yeah, The Big Sick is a true story.
So that's just, life imitates art. It also kind of reminded me of If I Stay. Isn't that one with Chloe Grace Moritz?
I don't know that one.
Oh. Basically, girl gets in a coma, has to decide, should I live?
Oh, cool. Very fun. Yeah. So kind of like the ending of Pixel Perfect.
Yeah.
Little robot in a coma.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is she a person or not? Yeah.
That is pretty much true.
Throw another my way.
Yeah, this 1999 film. Hugh Grant's in this one.
Okay,
if that helps at all. That could be a trick, though. Good old Billy Thacker. That one really got me. Billy Willie Thacker. He owns a bookstore.
Okay.
And this American who's an actress, both in real life and in the movie, appears in the shop.
And, she just does she like walk into the shop or does she magically appear in the shop?
Who's to say?
Okay, cool.
But basically, they accidentally kiss when someone spills orange juice on the other. What movie is it?
Okay.
People love this movie. They're gonna hate my description that I just did.
Okay. So I'm between a couple.
Okay. Give me your thought process.
You said it's Hugh Grant.
He plays Billy Thacker.
Billy Thacker, which that's tough. I feel like Hugh Grant makes me think that, and the fact that you specified an American actress walks into the bookshop makes me think that this movie takes place in London or in the UK, which makes me think it's not Happy Texas.
You think Happy Texas takes place in Texas?
That's what I would guess. I am going to guess that this is Notting Hill.
Yeah, you got it. It's Notting Hill.
Yes!
People love Notting Hill. I honestly forgot about Notting Hill, but people really, really like it. It's Hugh Grant, it's Julia Roberts, Emma Chambers is in it. It's a pretty good one.
Nice.
And people really like it.
So it's a good honorable mention. It's one that we could have put in this bracket.
Yes, 100% actually.
Cool.
110%. Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. I mean, like, this is kind of an obvious one.
What's not to like?
32-year-old Sonny, 1999 film directed by Dennis Dugan. 32-year-old Sonny doesn't like to be responsible, but his girlfriend dumped him for an older man. And he's got to prove that he's ready to grow up.
Okay, there aren't that many movies on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Girlfriend dumps him for an older man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this is not Edward Scissorhands.
Imagine if that was the premise of Edward Scissorhands. Like, they just avoid the whole Scissorhand part of it.
I think I know what Edward Scissorhands is, and I don't think it's this. I guess this could be Happy Texas. It could also be American Pie. I'm gonna go with, let's see, because American Pie is is it high school or college? I think this could be, no, I'm gonna say Happy Texas. Is this Happy Texas?
This is actually a Big Daddy. Someone pitched the movie, the Adam Sandler movie, Big Daddy. And, you know, this cast is weird. I didn't know Cole Sprouse and Dylan Sprouse were in this movie.
Wow.
Do they play the kid?
Jake, why are you asking me?
You haven't even seen Big Daddy? Yeah. No, someone literally, it was very funny. This audience member literally pitched Big Daddy, and then a couple, like, it wasn't even right away. It was like an hour or so later, submitted again just to say, oh shit, wait, Big Daddy isn't a rom-com. My bad. I'm gonna see myself out. And it was so funny because to me, it felt like they were in the middle of watching Big Daddy, saw our post, submitted like, oh yeah, Big Daddy, this is a good one, and then finished Big Daddy and was like, yeah, maybe not.
Is it a tragic ending?
No, it's Big Daddy. It's Adam Sandler. It's Big Daddy.
Okay. Is it not romantic then?
No, like, it's a comedy. It's just a comedy.
It's just a comedy. It's not. Yeah. It's not a rom-com. Okay.
Yeah, it's just I guess like there is a, you know, I mean, this is just proof that this job is kind of hard sometimes, picking movies, and no one should give a shit. But honestly, I have had audience members reach out to me and say our picks have been trash before. I take that back. I was gonna say like we're our own worst enemy with that, and we bully each other. But no, audience members have called me a big stinky doo-doo. So, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. But this audience member...
Maybe they're the big stinky doo-doo.
That's true.
All
right.
Give me one more.
You got one more. And honestly, this one amazes me that you haven't seen it. Are you ready?
Kind of scared.
Another 1999 film.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of these are 1999, which is like super interesting to me. This is kind of a coming-of-age story. And it's about losing your virginity. Directed by Paul Weltz. We're whites. Which movie do you think it is?
Wow, that's all you're giving me.
Yeah.
I guess the director means it can't be multiple, because I'm sure multiple of these movies are about losing your virginity. Edward Scissorhands probably is.
It's an allegory for sex, yeah. Edward Scissorhands, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Coming of age, virginity. Well, okay. I know enough about American Pie to be like, oh yeah, he gets his dick licked up by the dog in the peanut butter.
What?
Isn't that American Pie? Is that not American Pie? I swear
amazing.
That's American Pie.
No, amazing. Keep going. I love this thought process. Keep it rocking. God. Keep it rocking.
I think it's gotta be American Pie, isn't it?
Are you sure? It's a pretty happy Texas. Are you sure?
I'm gonna stick with my answer.
Yeah, it's American Pie. Nice. That was a funny one to pick because it's literally one of those raunchy like series where it's just like very teen, you know, young college humor. It's like Jason Biggs. It's like, you know, Natasha Lyonne. That's like how Sean William Scott, Tara Reid, like those people. Eugene Levy's in it, and he sticks his dick in a pie.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, there might be actually because there've been multiple of these at this point. There might be a scene where he gets his penis in peanut butter, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's in the 1999 version. I don't know if it ages well, but it's one of those that like didn't really age when it was like there, but like in a like kind of cool way. It's like one movie that I really, really wanted to pitch, but it was 2001. It was a 9/11 movie. Is Not Another Teen Movie. And that one's the one with like Chris Evans and all stuff where they literally are making fun of like all the rom-coms basically. It's like a satire. And yeah, it's a really good time, and that's like what American Pie reminds me of, because it doesn't take itself seriously like at all, but it's like a good time, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, so I like it a lot. Some other ones that audience members did, yeah, we talked about like Edward Scissorhands. I think that's a mess up on our end. That's a really, really good one.
Is it a comedy? Like, I guess so. I feel like it's just kind of.
It's a Tim Burton, you know. It's like a fantasy comedy. Rom-com sort of deal. I just want to talk about Winona Ryder. You know what I mean?
True.
I saw.
Speaking of Winona, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Did you see the finale?
Yeah, I spent the 4 hours.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's really good. It's really, really good. It sucks Winona Ryder died. Boom! Spoilers. Like I told you, we'd be spoiling these things. And that's a serious one. So if you don't take us seriously, that's just proof.
Now you know. Hey, maybe you shouldn't listen to the Tough Cut Bod.
Dude, no. Actually, this episode is the Tough Cut Bod. So hate those guys. Happy Texas is another one. That one has William H. Macy in it and Steve Zahn, which are two. I like those two. I don't really know much about this movie though, actually, but I'm pretty sure they're like prison escapees.
That's fine.
And yeah, they're prison escapees, and then they get mistaken for a gay couple who were scheduled to help plan the town's child beauty pageant. So, because they're trying to hide from the cops, they
they stick with it.
They stick with it.
And then do they fall in love, or do they fall in love with other people?
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. I don't know. I actually don't think I've seen this movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So shout out to that person.
I realized we skipped over our own honorable mentions. Do you have any that you wanted to throw out there?
Oh God. Not that I can think of right now.
I have a couple. So my issue is all the movies besides You've Got Mail that I wanted to pitch were all not in the 90s. So someone in our audience said When Harry Met Sally. That was in 89. I really wanted to do
one I looked up. Yeah.
I really wanted to do My Big Fat Greek Wedding. That was 2000s. I really wanted to do Bridget Jones' Diary. That was 2000s. Like so many of the
2000s?
movies.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it was 2000 or 2001. So really just kind of like bad choice maybe on our end doing 90s and not.
I think we just associated 90s with like...
Yeah, like I thought that there'd be more that I loved in the 90s.
I think the really 2000s had a lot of lot of good ones.
So I think maybe if we do rom-coms again, we do 2000s next time. That might be fun.
Yeah. We should just look up what ones we really, really want to talk about.
Well, I already know I have at least two in the 2000s.
At least two. Yeah, that's totally fair. What do you think... What do you think Matthew would have said? What do you think his honorable mention would have been?
Ooh, I don't know. Let me see. Let's Google 90s rom-coms and see what comes up.
Because I think I know.
Oh, you do?
I think I know.
Maybe Joe versus the Volcano? Oh, Sleepless in Seattle, maybe. But we were already talking about You've Got Mail.
So I think it would be a 1998 movie starring Matthew Broderick.
Oh, love Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. Classic rom-com guy. It has a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. And during a nuclear test, the French government inadvertently mutates a lizard nest, and years later, a giant lizard makes its way to New York City. That's right, I'm talking about the 1998 version of Godzilla. That is the rom-com that I believe. And starring Matthew Broderick, hilariously, that is what I believe what Matthew would pick.
That's so funny. Yeah.
You know,
I
have a sneaking suspicion also, Alex.
Uh-huh.
As you notice, at least as far as I know, did we check our email? Did we get a Optimus Prime rib?
We did, actually. I did get a notification from Optimus Prime rib. Let me find it.
Oh shit! I was gonna say that's kind of suspicious if we didn't get one and Matthew's not here. That's kind of suspicious, man.
Okay, it's a video that I have to download. It's just a video file, no text.
It's good if it shows the Transformers making love. I think we gotta crowd a new winner. I'm sorry.
This is 35 seconds. Something's going on here. I just forwarded you. I'll put the audio from this video into the recording, so we can like do a live reaction.
Oh, it's called 10 Things I Love About You.
Yeah, yeah, from Optimus Prime Rib.
That's terrifying. Oh god, I do have to download it. Jesus.
Yeah, it's literally just a video file that you have to download.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
All right, I'm gonna do a countdown.
All right. The bottom right corner says Miss Mojo. Is this a Watch Mojo? Why is this here? Why does it say Miss Mojo?
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
For this list, we're looking at those amazingly romantic and comedic movie moments from the last decade of the 20th century. The ones so good that we have to watch them over and over again. And because many of these moments take place at the end of the movies, we have to preface this with a big spoiler alert. Which 90s rom-com moments do you find yourself watching over and over again?
I swear to God, if he just put
Number 10.
Transformers clip into this list.
We dated for a little while. I was a sophomore and he was a senior. It's fine.
No, it's not fine. We've got a pre-existing juvenile foundational relationship. Statute 270.
Oh my God. The Romeo and Juliet clause. He got us with the Romeo and Juliet clause.
Whoever you are. Literally put a Watch Mojo clip from Miss Mojo, top 90s moments, and literally her voice is like, these are the top 90s or whatever. And it literally had scenes from like Notting Hill, from like 10 Things I Hate About You, and all that stuff in it. And then all of a sudden it's like, and here we go. And they cut to Transformers where the dude talks about the Romeo and Juliet law in Texas. Maybe that's Happy Texas, actually. I don't know. I've never
Maybe
seen
that was a scene from Happy Texas. Wow. Optimus Prime Rib, you've done it again. I will find you and destroy you.
Can we email them back and just ask if we can post it? Just no context on the Tough Cut.
Yeah. It'd be a great video for our Instagram.
Yeah, for our viewers at home. Wow. Yeah, maybe Matthew is lucky that he didn't see this.
Well, okay. What if Matt made this video and it took him more time and I don't know, maybe it like drained his power or something? Maybe it's like the Ark of the Covenant.
Do you
think the ring or something?
Do you think that Matthew, he like hates you that much that he would bring up the film series that gave you literal hives? Do we think that that's a reality that we can live in?
Maybe he's just really mad that he's still mad that Shrek 2 beat The Godfather Part 2.
That's
so he's
honestly,
doing
I believe that 100%. I would believe that.
Wow, there's a lot to think about.
Spiteful. Well, you guys, audience, you're about to be transitioned into our finale here. The past. Or as we like to call it, the future for you. That's how we pitched it. I'm sure, because I remember exactly how we started the other one. I'm sure it's going to be a very smooth transition. There's nothing going to be wonky about it. Like, our sentences are going to all make sense, and it's all going to go.
I bet it's going to blur. Wow, what great honorable mentions. We're not recording this at a separate time.
Cannot believe that the audience mentioned that movie. Like,
whoa.
I don't know. It makes me question their taste. And that whole bit about the cow.
Yeah. The cow bit was pretty insane, especially because, like, I just looked up that movie. We all thought it was in the 90s. It was during 9/11.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to cut that movie out. So, audience, if you don't hear the cow bit, it was cut for posterity.
Or we're going to have to improv and put a cow somewhere in one of these movies.
Hey, I think we can figure that out.
If we remember.
Romcom with a cow.
Oh, Power Rangers.
Oh,
okay.
What's that one? Barnyard.
Dude jerks off a cow.
Barnyard.
Oh my God. I looked up Romcom with a cow. Someone Like You is the first thing that comes up. Released in 2001.
Holy fucking shit. Holy shit.
What day did this come out?
Maybe we subconsciously knew that.
It came out March 30th. So,
close enough.
Yeah. American romantic comedy based on Laura Zigman's novel Animal Husbandry.
That is insane.
That's amazing.
That is insane.
That's so funny. Okay, well, we got our movie.
That's really funny.
Anyway, yeah, great honorable mentions. Thank you guys so much. For future brackets, you can send them to us at Tough Cut Pod on all your favorite social medias. Yeah, with that, we've got a final matchup to jump into here. On one side of the bracket, squeaking by 10 Things I Hate About You, and in maybe an upset, triumphing over Parent Trap. Well, an upset to some of us. We've got Pretty Woman, and the other side of the bracket, going toe to toe with a rom-com classic, and You've Got Mail, and then beating out an Adam Sandler classic in The Wedding Singer. We've got DDLJ. Yeah, and if you were a listener in all the way through in our semifinals, you would note that I messed up and I forgot to give a spoiler warning. So even though I already did it in the beginning of this episode when I talked about honorable mentions, want to make sure
I'm gonna double down and make sure we will be spoiling these movies and probably some others. So if you really are on the edge of your seat about Pretty Women and DDLJ and that Cal 9/11 movie,
if you're on the edge of your seat not knowing if the leads will end up together at the end of these movies, we're going to spoil if they do or not.
It's true.
So with that, I guess, Jake, do you want to bring us full circle and give the brief introduction to DDLJ?
Yeah, DDLJ, 1995, directed by Atya Chopra. It's about Raj. He's a dude, and it's about Simran.
Dude.
She a dude. And
he's a dude. She's a dude. We're all dudes.
We're all dudes. Simran has a strict family, strict Indian value family. And
they make her get a job at a burger restaurant.
Wait, that's Good Burger. Wrong movie.
If you shift around the letters of Good Burger, it's DDLJ. Fun fact. Not a lot of people know that. But yeah, basically Simran's gonna marry someone who's like a childhood, fiance, like betrothed, and Raj is like, no, I'm gonna go get her. Even though family values say no. And then thus begins the saga.
Every time you gotta hit it. And then we've got Pretty Woman, released in 1990, directed by Gary Marshall.
Gary.
Whoa! Calm down the crowd. Yep, that's right. This episode was filmed in front of a live studio audience. They're gonna be. I imagine they're gonna be pretty quiet through most of it because it's just really riveting.
We're not. We're
gonna be so loud. Maybe I'll just record an extra 40 minutes of content of me just going whoa, and just put it over the top.
We've got Edward and Vivian. Edward is a high-powered corporate raider. He wheels and deals in mergers and acquisitions. And Vivian is a sex worker with a heart of gold. And after Edward hires her, they slowly fall in love. Yeah. And
do you want to fall in love?
Pretty Woman. Yeah.
Have you guys ever fallen in love?
Yeah.
I think so. Maybe.
Wow.
One time I looked at Matt after running in the rain, and there were strong feelings there.
There's chemistry.
Yeah.
You were so wet, but you still fed sparks.
Yeah. It was
very dangerous. Almost both got electrocuted.
Yeah. No, literally.
Also dangerous for our love lives.
I think we were both in a relationship at the time, actually.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, rock on.
And that's why the kiss was so forbidden.
Yeah. If you're listening to this right now, yikes, is how you find out.
With that said, jumping into these movies.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to talk more about your forbidden love.
Whoa.
Forbidden love. I had something I wanted to talk about, and then my brain blasted it away.
Oh, that's my bad.
No, you're totally good. So something in DDLJ that we have not yet touched on that I feel like has to be touched on.
Touch it.
The end. Thank you. the ending. Just before it. So you got Raj and you have Simran's fiance, who the farce has been revealed that Raj and Simran are in love. And this man's like, that's my wife to be. I'm going to beat the hell out of you with my boys. And then after, then Raj's dad shows up, and then the guys beat up Raj's dad. And then Raj goes like Super Saiyan and just fucks them all up.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
It's a good moment. Big fan. And I just want to know, what did you guys think as you watched that?
I'm a sucker for a good Bollywood fight scene. They
hit different.
It hit different. Like the choreography is so sharp. The camera like barely cuts. Like it's just like these are just men doing weird shit and insane shit to each other. I love it. I mean, yeah. The closest thing we got to any like I think Americanized version of that was when Jackie Chan was doing films for us, and we got some kind of the fun shit we got with his shit, likening
kung fu movies to Bollywood action. So it is in a lot of ways the world of Bollywood films I'm like historically most familiar with are Bollywood or broader Indian action movies, because not every Indian movie is a Bollywood movie, and they are just so much fun. So to get a brief glimpse of some of that in DDLJ is just such a delight for me. I just love, because it is like a huge running theme in a lot of these movies that like the main character is just like a guy. It's like, hey, this is, whatever. He's a software engineer, and he just has like superhuman strength and just fights through like 100 dudes. And I feel a glimpse of that with Raj here as he takes down like 10 guys by himself when all he's been is just like a rich kid.
He's just been a rich kid. And like it gives that energy of, those like, what's that trope of like the rich kid who's like super protective? He's like, yeah, I took a bunch of taijutsu classes and like, private lessons. and then he does like whip some ass. Yeah, love that.
Yeah, it's like that. Especially because Kulshit is like a big guy. He's like
he's very tall,
but not bigger than Love.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a brawny fellow, and Shah Rukh Khan is not a brawny fellow, and they go toe to toe.
Dude,
it's just a fun scene.
I think it's so fun too because that leads right into the end, and Shah Rukh Khan like looking all bloody and stuff at the end is like so powerful.
The bloody train sequence is one of the best. Like it's really good.
The bloody train sequence.
Holy fucking trains! Oh my god, is that a gaggle of British schoolboys?
They're in the audience. Sorry, guys.
We aged up a bit because we don't have the little boy voices. It might have been used before, but now we're men. 15, I reckon.
Thanks. You're going to
like
the Bindley Mega
15
Chippy.
men or 15-year-old men?
Oi.
Both.
Oi.
15-year-old men.
We got a gaggle.
So, not to harp only on DDLJ, but another point that I feel like we only very briefly touched on. Do you think there's a world where Raj's father
bones down? Yes.
Yeah, it's that Simran's mother's best friend
down.
From
Can we talk
India,
about that phrasing real quick? He bones down. Woo.
I thought it was Simran's aunt.
Is it?
I thought it was.
It might be the aunt.
It probably. Well, regardless, they had that brief spark of chemistry, and I wanted to see where that was going to go, because she dreams of marrying someone foreign, and up comes this, British Indian diaspora who's worth millions.
In a movie all about love, everyone has chemistry. That's how you make a good rom-com. Everyone, you could ship anyone, and they all be fucking.
It could be fucking.
That's the power. You don't get that in things like The Parent Trap. You can't.
Yeah, I ideally no. Yeah. Not everyone is fucking in the Parent Trap. The Parent Trap's not in this matchup, though.
Yeah, but DDLJ, you can do that.
Yeah, everyone is of age in DDLJ.
Yeah. Pretty Woman?
Well, no. Simran has a younger sister.
Oh, that's true.
Shit.
Yeah.
And she ain't fucking.
No, she ain't.
There's also...
she ain't.
Yeah, there's like the really weird comment when they first get to India that Kulshit makes about, in regard to Simran's sister, of like, oh, she's this fiery. I can only imagine the sister.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
They did a
great.
good job of establishing Kuljit as an asshole.
An asshole. Not a good one.
not a good dude. Yeah. And then on the other hand, just to loop us back, Pretty Woman. I don't think there are any children in Pretty Woman. Everyone
True.
could be boning there.
Everyone could be boning.
I think.
That's true.
Especially those tourists from Tampa.
Yeah, maybe we should.
They're all fired up after seeing a dead body.
Maybe we should take that in consideration. When we vote, can everybody?
Maybe we should
be fucking.
Can everyone
bone down?
Bone down.
Yeah, most people can. Yeah. So in terms of like actual topics of conversation, we've talked quite a bit. Alex, I know you're a staunch. You like Pretty Woman, but don't think it's the best rom-com ever made.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I'm also being nitpicky because this is a bracket. We have to pick one movie as better than the other.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, you can't have as much as I think we picked good movies for the most part in this bracket.
Yeah.
Maybe not all good rom-coms.
Whoa,
decent movies.
Whoa. I don't.
Oh,
thanks.
I guess never mind then.
What were you gonna say?
I think Pretty Woman has a lot of fun. Both of these movies deal with, I guess, pretty complex theming and themes of love. Like we brought up last time how DDLJ talks about like how Raj is a non-resident Indian and stuff like that, and how Pretty Woman, in our first episode we talked about like the complex nature of dealing with sex workers and how it really does a lot.
Sex workers, emotional cheating,
Yeah. How fun is that shopping scene though?
It's very fun. It's the iconic moment of Pretty Woman, I think, in a lot of ways.
I think so too.
It's an absolute highlight. I talked about it a little bit when we first talked about Pretty Woman. Just the concept of I'm going to be spending an obscene, a truly disgusting amount of money today resonates with me.
Yeah, I think it does so much. And I guess thinking about the theming, that specific scene highlights to me what I think the greater conflict in their relationship is, and what the movie, I think, tries to get at the end of like how she fits into this world. And I think that scene does a good job if I try to connect that to the end of being like, oh, well, he is going to defend her. He is going to make a place for her. He's going to make it feel like everyone else is out of place rather than her, which I guess I do see, and I appreciate that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so I think it is kind of one of the central narrative or central thematic beats of the film, highlighted by that whole sequence, because it's like, hey, people in high society are going to judge me because of how I act, how I look, how I dress, and he is essentially making a statement of it doesn't matter to him. And I guess there is the somewhat odd element that I hadn't thought about it this way, but it's almost like it pulls the through line all the way through of like money talks. Like if we dress you up to fit in, suddenly you fit in more, which I don't know if I love that, because that is essentially what happens. Oh, also, did we talk about the fact that the outfit that she is wearing, imagining that in like modern day LA, just like rolling around the high streets of modern LA.
I'm trying to remember what her clothes actually end up looking like.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like the original clothes that she's wearing. It's like a
like when she's on the street or when she's dressed up?
Before she gets dressed up, when she's just like first goes into the stores, etc. She's just, she's just wearing like a skirt, long boots, whatever, like what's the word I'm looking for? Shows some midriff and has straps. A tank top.
Yeah, like a crop.
Yeah, like a crop top. Yeah, is like would not be out of place. It's like a fairly fashionable outfit that it is the no longer like all hoity-toity, so to speak. Designer fashions have changed, which I just think is a really funny observation.
Yeah, it's hard because I'm trying to bring back something that we were talking about in like kind of the first episode with Pretty Women, where I do think it's a good movie and I do think it tackles like its subject matter decently well, but I still don't think it's perfect.
Sure.
And I think that's where I'm kind of trying to think of how they could have done this subject matter better. Mine is just like language, you know. I don't think they use the term sex worker. I'm pretty sure in almost all the thing they're like, she's a hooker, and she.
Yeah, it's basically exclusively what they call her.
Yeah, which isn't great. And I just would have really loved to see this kind of movie like done now. Would have been kind of dope. Like I think it would have been a really good, and like now if you do it, they'll just be like, oh, it's like a spiritual remake of like Pretty Woman. And like that kind of sucks because you'll always have like Pretty Woman like looming. But I think it could be done and it's possible. But I really would have loved if like that concept wasn't tackled and then made into modern day right now. I think it would have been really, really strong.
Sure, when we have the tools and the language to navigate it a little bit better.
Yeah.
We talked about it the first time also, this idea that the script was originally written as more of a drama. And I wonder, part of me has the inclination that the way they tackle the subject matter of being a sex worker may be worse for some reason, but I have no proof of that fact. It's just like I get some sense that a darker version of this story probably is not very kind to how Vivian is portrayed or other sex workers in the movie are portrayed.
Yeah.
But I don't know necessarily about playing some stuff for comedy that they did, you know.
Yeah. Which,
like, they're trying to, like, save themselves, I think. Like, I think it's one of those things like, oh, we're poking fun. But I don't necessarily think it's, like, at, like...
Who is the joke directed at? At whose expense is the joke? Is this something that we are lampooning and, like, asking society to question by making fun of? Or are we laughing at them along with everyone else?
Right.
I feel like this movie, though, doesn't do too much of pushing sex workers down as like the butt of a joke. I feel like if it does that, it's very infrequent. It's very rare because so much of the movie is dedicated to raising Vivian up and like making her a real person. So I feel like it really doesn't do that too often. I feel like what it does is make the like friend be like really bad about money and like have a shitty boyfriend and like it does fall into those traps, but I don't know that it makes them the butt of too many jokes.
No, it doesn't like as much, but still I don't know, there's just something that I just wish wish they had the language of it. And it's not so knocking because it could have been much worse. This movie could have been real bad. Like again, like I mentioned this in the first episode, but like when you read the premise, you're like, and then you see the year, bad feelings, bad vibes come about.
Yeah, for sure.
Stucky's character could have pervaded more of the movie's primary discourse. Yeah. By comparison, thinking about the comedy in DDLJ, I think it's by and large aged pretty well. Like, I don't, there's nothing really that sticks out to me as being like this joke scene, which is actually a really interesting point that, outside of jokes that are maybe like culturally or nationally specific of like, this is like an in joke for this time period. I feel like a lot of the comedy is not like time period specific, which is a really interesting point.
I'll say, I don't think it's a very funny movie. Like it definitely has jokes and makes jokes, but I don't think the jokes that it makes are that funny. They're not like offensive in any way. I just don't personally think it's very funny.
You think it's like, do you think it's just like a fun movie, not a funny movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of
I think that's a fair argument for DDLJ though.
And I think it's really good. Like I don't hold it against it in any way because I think it doesn't feel like it's trying to make jokes and they fall flat. It just feels like it's trying to be fun.
Yeah, there's just general levity to it. It's not like set up punchline. That's an interesting point. I don't know if I thought about that, but I feel like I agree for the most part.
Yeah.
Though I do think I don't know. I think that there are some moments.
There are definitely some funny moments. Like, especially when he's like in the house and, or he's in India at the end of the wedding and he's like winning over the family by like doing all the work at the house.
Doing
like,
everything.
I think that's
perfectly.
pretty funny.
Yeah, and I think there's a handful of scenes specifically with Raj and his dad that, I don't know.
Are pretty funny.
No, they're pretty funny. Well. Yeah.
I also really, really like their relationship. There is the point where they're having like the really direct heart to heart. He's talking to the premise of he's talking about like he struggled so his son could have a better life, but also like we are not people that look up and see the moon and think wistfully of why it has to be so far away. Like we go after it and grab it, which I really appreciate the relationship he has with his dad.
We love good dads.
We do. We honestly do.
Love good dads. Maybe we all have daddy issues. Anyway, but
I don't know. I have a good relationship with my father.
Okay, let's not brag. Let's not brag on the Tough Cut.
Too.
Let's not.
We're Pretty Woman.
No dads in Pretty Woman.
Well, he mentions his dad, Bad Dad.
Oh, that's bad dad.
Dad didn't raise him good, so he bought his dad.
Right?
I think he's dead
dad. Do we like dead dads in the Tough Cut?
Well, he's like, the first company he ever acquired or whatever, wasn't it his
dad's? That's right.
And he's like, and then I took it apart. Whatever. He's like, fuck you, Dad. Which I think is such an interesting point to how they're trying to construct Edward's character. Is he comes from money, but they like put this emphasis into and try to create the fact that he is self-made, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, they don't want people to hate him.
Yeah, it's like we want to somehow give some points of credit to rich guy.
Mm-hmm. That's literally, yep.
Where, I guess...
Well, and that he's not like other shitty rich guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, like I haven't spoke to my dad in years, whatever, had terrible relationships, so I built my own company and fucked him over because fuck you, Dad. It didn't take a handout, didn't work for him or whatever.
Right.
Which is interesting that DDLJ also has the son of a rich dad.
People in rom-coms, there's at least one rich person. I feel like,
Well, and I think that goes back to like medieval and like Renaissance theater. There's always like the funny rich character.
Yeah,
interesting.
Raj and his dad, I think, are such a great pair, and they're done so well when they're first introduced. Of like, you come from a family of failures, but we fail up.
Yeah,
like that's so good.
We fail up is really good.
It's amazing. He's like, yeah, Dad, I failed school. He's like, yeah, exactly. Which is I feel like such a great subversion because they start the scene with Raj being like, well, Dad, I think you're misunderstanding. Like, I failed school. I failed out. And he's like, no. I think you're misunderstanding because your grandfather, never finished elementary school. He dropped out of high school. He didn't get into any universities.
He was basically
look at you.
We were basically be like, dude, we didn't expect you to get even this far. Like,
it's really
just
funny.
It's very funny, and it's just like such an interesting little detail.
Yeah.
And it really, I feel like it colors their relationship in a nice way. In the fact that his dad flies to India to be like, what my boy needs? He needs me to help. And then accidentally commits him to marrying Kuljit's sister. Good moment.
So fun. Yeah, very fun. And
There's
good message.
Love.
Fuck it.
Good message. What's the message?
We failures. What up?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Did you guys know that Pretty Woman's cover, that is just Julia Roberts' face pasted on someone else?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, there's for some reason a ton of discourse about whose legs it is on the cover. And I'm like, why do you guys care so much?
Whose legs are it? Well, that probably gets into something creepy that I don't want to actually unlock.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
People be weird.
How are we feeling about this?
I think.
I mean, like, I could vote. I could also. I'm.
Let's just talk for like 2 more hours, but we won't tell the audience if we did or not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Man, what a productive conversation.
I feel like we really hashed a lot out there. Solved a lot of our own.
I think we talked about a lot of stuff. I don't know, guys. I think you guys are always so harsh. They're like, wow, we didn't talk about shit. But I'm over here like, yeah, I got the points down.
I got the points down. I said what I needed to say.
Yeah. I feel good.
Matt, are you about to come in and say an actual conversation again?
Not really. Simran's little sister starts off the movie slinging some philosophy at us. That's how you know it's going to be a fire film.
I'm just going to pitch movies that have philosophy in it, just so I know. I have at least one more vote.
Well, that's all you need on the Tough Cut. There's only 3 of us.
Yep. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I go against my own movies.
That's true, as we all do.
That's true.
I guess we can vote if you guys are ready, unless there's more things you want to talk about. Well,
let's do it.
We're pushing time.
We are pushing time. God, we've been recording for like 2 hours.
Well, we really got caught up with someone like you, the movie, 2001,
The 9/11 cow shit, there's a lot of content there.
I regretfully, Alex, I'm sorry with how much work you're going to have to do.
It's okay. I'll just cut out probably most of that conversation, and then I'll just cut out a lot of the stuff about
just a lot of the
Pretty
stuff.
Woman and our deep dive into whose body it is and all that.
Oh, but come on. I think we really solved the mystery.
I'll leave a little bit in, but I'll cut a lot of it out probably.
Okay. All right. That could be like a special episode for the fans,
Yeah. This is what the Tough Cut cuts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're getting some insight. Cut.
I can go first.
Okay.
I think that You've Got Mail is the best 90s rom-com.
Hey.
But much like Matt in our sequels bracket, if there is a second movie, I think it is DDLJ. So I will be voting DDLJ.
Amazing. Through and through, you fought for your baby, and I respect that.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, so much like Alex,
Wait.
Wait.
You've Got Mail is the best 90s rom-com.
Much like Alex, I think The Godfather Part 2 is the best rom-com. No, on a more serious note, I think we had 2 titans of the genre, maybe 7 titans of the genre. Who knows?
I love that you say 7, not 8. What a petty decision to make.
However, in this matchup, I love Pretty Woman. I think it is one of the rom-coms that I think of when I think 90s rom-coms. I do think the story does a lot really well. However, DDLJ just does so much well and then does so much more. It's a fantastic movie, so I've got to vote DDLJ.
Yeah, and Mouse Hunt gets the odd double vote. So I think we have a tie. No, it's DDLJ for me. I really think it's like a titan. Like it really. I think there's a reason it was there for 20 years. Like I love it. Bollywood film. A lot of Bollywood film is better than a lot of shit we got in Western media anyway, but people just don't watch it. But shout outs to DDLJ. It's gonna get a triple sweep here.
Yeah, and Matt has his stuff that he normally says, but we did it at the beginning of the episode this time.
Yeah, but we can say some of it. If you enjoyed today's show, you should share it with who?
Joe Mama.
Oh,
share it with Joe Mama,
yeah, please,
because they conceived you in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Is that our primary audience? You think it's people born in the 90s?
Probably.
I would guess so.
I think it's actually from our most recent look at demographics. It's mostly people born in the 90s. We've got a good contingent of Zoomers, and then a pretty strong contingent of 45 to 60-year-old women. They're reliable listeners.
Nice.
Honestly, I mean, single hot moms in our area, that's great. That's great. Shout out to you. Share this episode with single hot moms in your area.
Yeah, please do. If you see some kind of ad pop up somewhere, I don't know where it would pop up, that tells you that there's single hot moms in your area, you should probably get in touch with them.
You should probably click on that link.
Get in touch with them, send them our podcast.
Yeah, sign up to whatever
click
chat
on that link, and whenever she asks you to send your money, just be like, I have something that's worth more than that.
I got a podcast.
I don't have enough liquid finances, but I have this podcast.
Yeah.
People love immaterial gifts.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. With that said, we already did all the plugs for social media.
We got some bangers coming up for you, though.
In the pipeline. I bet you're wondering, what's our next bracket?
And it's not what you think.
Bracket schmack it.
That's the theme.
Yeah, exactly. We've actually...
We're doing a best bracket.
What's the best bracket concept? We're doing some stuff with some guests. So
We're gonna have a bunch of really rad guests coming up and really rad little themes. We want more people to come have fun with us because we have fun whenever we have people on here. So it's gonna be a rattle time, and maybe you'll see some familiars. Well, you won't see them. Maybe you'll hear some familiar voices, and maybe you'll hear some new ones, and maybe it'll be someone you know. I mean,
maybe you'll fall in love.
Maybe you'll fall in love. You could. In the Tough Cuts Gulai, guest July.
He pitched that joke like a million times before we recorded, and we were like, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't do it. And
we all agreed we weren't gonna do it.
He went for it.
He said it's not very funny and it's kind of weird. And then I said it anyway. No ghouls allowed.
Wait.
Only guests. Gulai.
We're cutting them off.